Okay, we're going to get started with my portion, and we're talking about self-care during the holidays. So I'm just wondering, we've already had a little bit of the holiday, and so I'm just wondering how the holiday's going so far in terms of, are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling lonely, like you're not doing enough? Are you having memories of, you know, past holidays and missing people? I mean, how has it been feeling so far?
All of the above.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah,
I was missing no sunlight for a while. It was
yeah,
you overcast
yeah.
days in a row.
That's another thing that I actually didn't think of is that it's darker, it's colder, and all of that adds to just other things that are going on with the holidays. Anybody else?
Nobody really fought.
Well, we set the bar. That's an important thing. I try to set the bar very low.
And you get people getting too happy or arguing over a football game or
Yeah,
so in
right.
that case it was so peaceful.
Yeah,
So
good,
good.
good. Yeah. Um, I noticed with myself is that um, even though I want to change and have new behaviors and make the holiday less stressful and more meaningful for me, once the holiday hits, it's like it's triggering me to fall back into my old habits. Oh, I always do this, I always do this, I always do this. So just because of the stimulus around me, it triggers me to just fall back and have the holiday be the way it's always been, which is always a little stressful. So it was kind of nice for me to give the lecture because it's a good reminder for me to make changes. Let me get this forward. Here we go. So we're going to talk about practicing self-care during the holidays. So do we feel like this slide where just you look at it, you feel peaceful, or do you feel like this slide? And we tend to take a holiday from our self-care during the holidays. We think, oh, it doesn't really matter that, well, I'll get back to it later. I'll get back to it later. And we end up feeling like this. So, just taking a moment because we can't make change unless we notice what we're already doing. So just taking a moment right now to think about what have you noticed? Have you fallen back into old stress reducing behaviors? Are you isolating yourself more? Or are you trying new behaviors that move you more in line with what you value and bring you happiness and joy during this holiday season? So just taking a moment to think about that right now. What have you been doing so far and what do you want to do in the future? No judgment for yourself, just noticing what's been going on and how you've been behaving. And I'm not going to worry about it during the holidays. So I'm not going to, what's it? What's that I'm not going to worry about? What do we just let go during the holidays and say, I'm not going to worry about it? What? Our diet, right. Yeah. Oh, I never get to do this. I only get to have, 5 boxes of See's candy once a year. I only get real whipping cream this time of year. I better just eat it all now. So eating, yes, that's a big one. What other things besides eating are we not going to worry about right now?
Christmas shopping.
We're not going to worry about Christmas shopping? Well, I think we might be worried about it.
I mean,
We're not going to worry about overspending, maybe.
yeah.
We're going to, I'll take care of that in January and February and March and April. I'll be paying that. Yes, big one. Yeah.
Not acting like a child, but acting, bringing back our memory. Children.
Yeah.
Being that.
Yeah, we're not going to worry if we're acting a little childish.
Yeah.
Right. We're allowed to at this time of year. What about alcohol? Sometimes some of us, I'm not, I'm talking about other people, not myself. Other people might drink more than they normally do, or drink, there's all these eggnog drinks and, all sorts of more creamier things that are just, you go to parties and, oh, I guess I should try this, and, because I'm not going to worry about it during the holiday season. And what about our exercise? You guys are here today, so you're keeping that on track. But we tend to do less exercise because we're busier, we're staying up later. Or if we're, like, for example, this program is going to be closed more than it is during the holiday. So we're closed more over Thanksgiving. We're going to be closed over Christmas until New Year's. So, there's just less chance for you to be able to carry on your consistent exercise. So, Dr. Capagotti used to talk about this. We're in our brain saying, I'm not going to worry about it right now during the holidays, but our bodies don't know that it's the holidays. And so we're piling on more cholesterol, more saturated fat, we're exercising less, we're drinking more alcohol, we're not doing our stress management, being mindful. And all of this affects us internally in our bodies. So even though our brains are on holiday, the rest of our body is really not on holiday. We're taking all that in. So keep that in mind. So holidays are a time of joy, connection, and love, but there's also holiday food traditions. We have all or nothing thinking. I only get pumpkin pie once a year. Instead of having one piece, we're going to have 2 pieces or 3 pieces, right? I never get to have mashed potatoes with the butter and the sour cream, and I shouldn't even be mentioning this stuff, but yeah, it's like, oh, I got to have it all now because I'm not going to get to have this again. But what is the truth about that?
You're right.
The truth of it is, if we really wanted to have a piece of pumpkin pie in June, because we're craving it again, we could make a pumpkin pie, or there's pumpkin pie always, even in June. And there's always mashed potatoes you could make in June. So that's what I always try to think, is that I really don't need to have, half this pumpkin pie, because I can have it again when I really want to have it again, So try to let go of that all or nothing thinking. That you don't need to do it all right now. You can do most of these things most of the time. A lot of our traditions are tied to love and connection. So sometimes we feel like we have to make certain things or eat certain things because the people that we're around, it's important to them. I've told this story before, but I had this one patient when I was working at the medical center, and she was talking about how every year she used to make this, I don't know, some sort of 7-layer thing with whipping cream, and I don't know what was in it. And it took her hours to make it. And she didn't like making it. And she didn't even like it that much. But she said, well, but my kids, they love it. And if I don't make it, they're going to be so disappointed. And then one year, after doing this for 20 years, she heard her kids talking, and they were saying, I hope mom doesn't make that thing. It's just, we don't even like it, And and so it just brings out the point that we do a lot of things because we think that, the traditions, and we have to keep doing this or everybody's going to fall apart or die if we don't do them. So I think checking in with what's important to other people and communicating well and communicating for yourself what's important for you during the holiday season. And we already talked about alcohol. We tend to drink more alcohol. A lot of our structure is gone during the holiday season. Like I said, this program is not open the same way that it always is. We're staying up sometimes later, working on things or doing holiday events. Sometimes we're doing less because we're lonely and it's cold. And because of the coldness, we're just more isolated. So some of our structure goes away. And we have more fatigue. Studies show a lack of sleep is associated with being overweight. It's also associated with higher blood sugars. And I'm going to talk about that, a few slides on that. And it can be a time of loneliness and loss, because we remember times past when we had parents and siblings and close friends, and we have memories, wonderful memories from times with them. And so we kind of are faced with that again at the holiday season. So what can we do? How can we stay healthy and happy during this time of the year? How can we make this time of the year meaningful and joyful and healthy? Any ideas?
Social, keeping in touch.
Social life, yeah, if one of your reasons that you feel more depressed or more anxious or more isolated is because you're not around the people that you've in the past been with and you have these memories. Yes, figuring out who you care about still and who you can reach out to, or attending things like this where you're interacting with people. Church events, there's all sorts of holiday events that happen during this time of year. Any other ideas? I'm going to talk about some of them. So get outside. Yes. Yeah. So the first thing is keeping that can help make your holiday season more healthy and you can mentally feel less depressed and less anxious is to keep your sleep on track. So, our schedules changed with the more darkness. Also, we're doing more. And so those things can cause us, we have a pattern of staying up later, not sleeping well. That can contribute to depression, irritability, increased anxiety, forgetfulness, fuzzy thinking. Anybody have more fuzzy thinking during the holiday season? I know I do. It's hard to keep stuff straight. And all this can lead to higher blood pressure, higher blood sugar, and increased hunger and appetite. And it just keeps going in a circle. So we'll talk about sleep deprivation. So I wanted to just have a quick slide on this because I think it's important and it kind of can be motivating to us to realize how important our sleep is and keep our sleep on track. Is that when we don't get enough sleep, it affects certain hormones which affect our appetite. So there's a hormone called ghrelin, which is produced by cells lining the stomach and the pancreas, and that ghrelin stimulates hunger. And it causes us to have increased hunger. And when we have increased hunger, what do? We eat more, we overeat. This hormone increases when we're sleep deprived. So you ever wonder why when you haven't gotten enough sleep that you're eating more? Have anybody noticed that? I know I've noticed that. Like if I've stayed up late studying or working on something and I'm only getting like, 5 hours of sleep, I just notice I'm antsy for food. I'm just wanting to eat more. So it's because of this ghrelin. And leptin is produced in fat or adipose tissue, and it decreases your appetite. This hormone decreased with sleep deprivation, thereby increasing your appetite. So those two kind of work against you if you're not getting enough sleep. So keep that in mind as a good motivator to try to keep your sleep intact. Sleep deprivation also alters our glucose metabolism. And it makes it so that we have a less of an ability to control our blood sugars. So we have higher blood sugars running around, and that can make us more fatigued. If we have diabetes, that can affect our ability to manage our blood sugars and make us feel more tired. And there are the beta cells on the pancreas. When we're not getting enough sleep, there's these little cells on the pancreas, and they become overworked and they quit responding as well to sensing a high blood sugar. And so they don't stimulate the release of insulin. So we run around with higher blood sugar levels because we're not getting insulin in there to help remove them from the bloodstream and take it to our muscles. So sleep deprivation not only affects our fatigue, but it also affects our blood sugars. So keeping your meals healthy and sticking to a structured routine. It's tempting, of course, to let go of any planning and structure during the holidays, and this includes meals. And of course, our holiday meals can lead to food choices that don't give us energy. High sugar, we kind of crash from it. We feel fatigued. We might feel sleepy. We might go to sleep for a couple hours. But if we're eating more healthy meals, we have more energy. We're better able to do the things that bring us joy. Have at least one activity planned each day that is part of your structure. So if you think of right now, what is something that you tend to do every day when you're feeling energized and healthy and in a good space? What's something that you do every day when you're kind of in that good space like that?
Walk the dog.
Walk the dog. Anybody else?
Just go for a walk around the park where I'm at,
Yeah. And doing that every day?
trying to do it.
Try
well,
to,
Not every day, but
uh-huh, yeah.
especially when the sun is up.
Mhm. So walking the dog, just walking in general. Anybody else have anything that they do every day that kind of makes you feel like you're in control and things are okay?
Probably doing too much, but I like raking leaves.
Raking leaves.
Cause it just soothes me.
Yeah,
And I'm outside and I'm kind of looking, mostly the front yard.
yeah,
That's where the trees are mostly.
that's a great habit.
Mhm.
Yeah. So think about for yourselves, what's something that's structured that you do every day, whether it's, brushing your teeth every morning or, making oatmeal for breakfast because it just makes you feel, it sets you up for the rest of the day. And the reason I bring this up is because if we just do one thing that's structured, one structured thing leads to another structured thing, leads to another structured thing. The same way that when we say, oh, I'm not going to worry about this right now, one unstructured thing leads to another unstructured thing. We're not eating as well. We're not, I don't feel like exercising. I'm going to stay up late looking at the internet. We don't get enough sleep. So it all kind of snowballs in that direction. So if we can go ahead and just say right now, if our goal after we leave this lecture is we're going to just every day do one thing that's structured that we know makes us feel good, that could possibly lead to another thing, could lead to another thing. So having something planned helps to keep you moving around, keeps you active, keeps you from slipping into a low energy state, depression, keeps you from overthinking, all those things. Especially, I'm going to keep bringing this up, but especially if part of the reason that it's hard for you to be joyful during the holidays is because you're more isolated or you're more lonely, then add something that's structured to it. You're going to make a phone call a day to somebody that you care about, or you're going to go for a walk around the block, or you're going to offer to walk somebody else's dog that's too busy, or whatever it is, some structured thing that's really helpful for you. Or it could be something that's self-care, like every day I'm going to, take a shower and put the shower gels in my bath because they smell good and they make me feel good. I'm going to do that every day. Or another thing that people are doing now that kind of works for me, although I have a hard time doing it, is at the end of the shower, turning the shower on cold. Because it kind of, I know it's hard to do this time of year, but there are some studies that show that it helps with depression. So I'm bringing this up again, but taking some time to be alone if you're feeling overwhelmed, but not too much time to be alone. So spending time apart from others, if we're doing too much, can be helpful to help us get back to what's important to us, to reset, to feel like we have control over our environment. And that'll help us appreciate when we're back together with people again, instead of being resentful and feeling like they're asking us to do too much or we're doing too much. If you're alone, reaching out, scheduling a phone call or coffee with someone that you care about. What to do if you're experiencing loneliness at this time of the year? First of all, acknowledging your feelings about it, not pushing it away, and taking some time to think about, what's causing you to be lonely. Are there people you're missing? Are there activities that you used to do that you're missing? What is it about this time of year? Is it that it's dark early in the morning and it's dark later in the evening? Thinking a little bit about that, acknowledging that whatever you're feeling is okay and it's legitimate, and you're being you and you're feeling you. So,
Well, you just described me. I'm that way every day. I don't have to wait for the holidays because being retired, I've had to take all those things into account. And I do try to do what you're saying, and it does work.
Great. So what are some of the things that you do, Leonie, that help you from being isolated and alone?
I try to do new every day.
To do.
Yeah, but every day I have to think, well, can I do it today? How much energy do I have? And I spend it on the things I want to do. I'm like a teenager. I just do what I want because I have no parent telling me you can't do it. And then I make up my own mind. Do I really want to do that? You don't know what it takes to get here.
Yeah, I know. Just
Okay.
that is a challenge.
Yeah, because I think, should I make the bed today? No, I'll do it later. Well, there's dishes in the sink. No, I only have so much energy. That's
Mhm.
every day.
Hmm.
And then coming up with something that's new or something that's different. It occurs to me that I have a young lady who comes to the house once in a while. She has two children at 2 and 4 years old. They've never seen a Christmas tree. They have never heard of Santa Claus. They're from Afghanistan. They've been here 8 years. And they enjoy going around and seeing what people are doing, but they believe in Christmas, but they don't have the tree. So I invited her to bring them over when I put my tree up, and I will show them, and they can enjoy it, and I can.
Oh, nice.
I've
Yeah.
been putting it off, because last year I had a flood, and I couldn't find the tree. So I finally found it, and I keep my tree on all year round. So I don't want to put it up, so I just figured out a way. I found the bulbs and I got some lights, and I'll let these kids do it.
Oh, nice.
And they are so grateful, so she's coming, while she's vacuuming for me, I'm gonna help and help.
Oh, what a great idea. Love that. Is there anybody at home?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
stuff.
I just wanted to share at home that Leonie was talking about, that this is the experience of loneliness and feeling isolated is not new to the holiday season, that since she's retired, that she feels this way many days. And so she was talking about some of the things that she does in order to not feel that way. And she tries to do new things and get herself out. And one of the things that she's doing at this time of the year is that she has a hard time, finding her Christmas tree, getting her Christmas tree up. It takes a lot of energy. So she's invited her caregiver, housekeeper person who's from Afghanistan, who has two young children, to come and help put the tree up this year. And the children are going to put the ornaments on. And it sounds like it's going to be joyful for you. It takes some stress off of you, fun for the kids, fun for the mom. Great idea.
It's interesting to me because I asked her about Santa Claus. And she, oh, they love it. I said, have you ever taken them to the mall? And she said, no. And I told her my experience with my children. I would take them and I would also see Santa Claus sit on his lap and ask him for things. And I told her, I'll tell the children that Santa Claus left something under the tree for them. And really, I didn't want to send them to her house to give them to her.
Yeah.
And I said, what do you think they would like? And she said, well, I don't know what people give it us. I said, well, one of my children's toys that I kept. Remember the little cars, the Hot Wheels?
Yeah. Yeah.
Still brand new because they outgrow things anyway. So I came across them and they looked and I said, well, do you think your son would like this, a 2-year-old? She said, oh, you would. love
Yeah. A
that."
2-year-old love that. Yeah.
And would you mind if I had Santa Claus come and influence me and then ask for them? And she said, no, that would be wonderful. But I told her, I haven't been very good, so he. And she said, oh, does that matter? I said, well, if I don't get to the store or something, you can tell him she didn't get anything from Santa.
So I think this brings up the idea of, I'll talk about that. I think this brings up the ideas, and it's one of the things on here is doing something for somebody else, right? If we're feeling lonely, I always forget how good it feels to just do even a little thing for somebody else. I remember one time with my kids, it was around the holiday season, and we were at the store and we saw somebody who was obviously struggling to buy a few things, and it was clear, and they were kind of talking a little bit about it with the clerk. And so when I left the store, I saw that they were walking down this road, and I said to the kids, I said, what if we went and we just left, instead of handing it to the person, what if we made it feel kind of magical, like they were all deserving? So what if we just laid a $20 bill on the road, a couple blocks up? We could see where they were going to walk and where they were going to put it. So we did that. We got the $20 and we put it on the ground, and then we drove up and we kind of, were hiding, and we watched them pick up the $20, and they were so happy. But I mean, it made us feel probably better than it made them feel even. And every time you do something for somebody, you remember how good it feels to do something for somebody else. So I think that's an important thing to remember if we're feeling lonely or isolated, or if nobody cares about us, is to go out and do some simple little thing for somebody. And then at home, there was a comment to open the curtains and turn on the lights. Yes. Let some light in, especially this time of year. Or just getting out on your porch, even bundling up. The cold kind of wakes you up, and can make you feel stimulated. And you were talking about raking leaves, getting some light in your life. Anything else from home? Yeah, but just having some light helps us feel a little bit less lonely, I think. So also, I wrote up here, rethink your expectations. We can't be carrying around expectations of what the holidays were like when we were younger, when we were little, when we were in our 20s, when we were in our 30s. And there's different people now. We have different abilities. It's a different time in our culture. So we have to change our expectations. And what are our new expectations? What would be helpful to us now? Be kind to yourself. Give yourself what you need. Think about, what do I need? If it's that you're lonely, what is it that you need? What could you give to yourself to cause you to be less lonely? And joining community activities, such as all the things we have going on here, church activities, there's tree lightings, there's just all sorts of things going on this time of year. Any ideas of people for community activities that are going on that you know of for people that are feeling lonely and isolated?
Leonie, aren't you gonna perform, in a couple of weeks? Aren't you performing?
Well, yes, I played the maracas for the, and like Parks and Recreation. Some of the people have a live band, and I play the maracas. And they do entertainment in the nursing homes and in the care homes and.
But there's not a place where you're performing that people could come. Is there a special event?
Oh, yeah,
What is it?
dancing.
I know, but what's the name of the event that people could come to?
Oh, great. There's winter ball.
Oh, Winter Ball.
Sometimes like Hawaii Day, or we have the Turkey Day, Thanksgiving, things like that.
Do you know what the date of the Winter Ball is?
I put the flyer on.
Okay, so if anybody at home is interested in that, just reach out to us, and we've got a flyer on it. We'll let you know the date and the time and the location. Yeah, yeah. Anything else? Mary, you were going to say?
In Citrus Heights, they have the lighting of the tree and all the gathering that you can sit there and.
Do you know when that is?
I think it's actually next weekend.
Probably look it up.
Yeah,
So in
yeah.
Citrus Heights, there's a lighting of a tree and a lot of events going on. Probably just go on the internet, type in Citrus Heights tree lighting, and I'm sure that'll come up.
Well, there's a place where I live, always have a front window, and they have music, and you drive your car, and you listen to the music, and lights going on and on.
Mm-hmm.
We wait for that every year, and then we used to take the kids out in the car at night to see the displays. And the houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some cul-de-sacs, they put
Mm-hmm.
the whole house and.
Yeah.
everything.
That's always fun to do. Just getting a friend or somebody who has a hard time getting out and driving around and looking at the lights one night. That's a great idea.
The Citrus Heights is tonight from 6.
Oh. Citrus Heights is tonight from what time?
6 to 8.
6 to 8. And where is it?
It's at the Citrus Heights City Hall.
Citrus Heights City
60
Hall.
degrees.
Okay, thank you. Great.
We had dinner night on the way back. Surprised that the Christmas lights are already up.
Yeah.
And the fabulous 40s.
Oh, the Fabulous 40 Christmas lights. Yeah, that's fun to go look at. Yeah. 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 It gives you such a peaceful, wonderful feeling just to drive around and look at those. Great idea.
better now than closer to the holiday.
when it gets more crowded. Yes. Yeah. Any other ideas? Great, great ideas. Okay, so plan ahead for how you will care for yourself. This is all this about is this is not some obscure thing. It's really, take something from this lecture. How can you care for yourself during this holiday season? What will you give yourself that's going to help you feel more joyful, more anchored, less depressed, less anxious, less lonely? And it's going to be different for everybody. But, maybe make a plan for your exercise if you feel like that really makes a difference. When I exercise every day, I know I feel differently. So you may want to plan that you're going to do a little something every day. Plan for your food. What kind of food are you going to eat? Plan before you go to a party. I know I'm going to this party. I know there's going to be a lot of stuff that when I eat it, I don't feel energy and I feel low and my blood sugar goes up. What's my plan for the party before I go? Yes. And with suggestion to eat before we go, because that you're not so hungry, you're not famished when you get there.
Choose what you want,
Mhm. Yes,
instead of being forced to eat.
yeah.
that stuff.
What other things do people do about, to help you through all the high fat, high cholesterol food at parties? How do you get through that? What are some techniques you use?
Well, if you bring a dish that you eat.
Bring your own dish, right? Bring your own dish. Or I like if there's 5 desserts there, I might say, I'm just gonna pick the one that I really, really want. There's usually the one that I really want. And I'm just gonna have, some of that. I'm not gonna have all the desserts. And plan ahead. Picture yourself doing it. Picture yourself just having the one dessert and a small piece of it so that you kind of are practicing before you go to the party. It helps to practice in your brain. Plan for some structure in your life. What's that one little piece of structure? Remember I said one little piece of structure leads to another piece of structure leads to another structure. So what's the little thing that you're going to start doing every day that you might have decided to throw out the window during the holiday season that's really going to help you feel anchored and more centered and more in control of this holiday season? Plan for your sleep and let go of the things that you don't value. Let go of making that 7-layer dessert that nobody likes. Let go of writing Christmas cards if that's not of value to you. Now, for some people, that's the only thing. Sitting down and writing a note to people, it brings them comfort. They feel peaceful. It's of value. But for some people, it's just another task. They don't enjoy it. They don't really write anything. They just scribble their name at the bottom. Go buy 100 stamps, get them out. If it's not of value to you anymore, let it go. Don't do it, So think about, we're all different. Think about what you value and keep those things that you value and let go of the other things. And sometimes we feel guilty. We think other people need us to do those things. So communicate. Ask people, is this important to you? Is this of value to you that I do this? Or what is of value to you? And let people know during this holiday season that you appreciate them, that you have some gratitude for them, and then share what your needs are too. So speaking of gratitude, practicing gratitude, that helps remind us of what's of value and what's important. If we forget what's of value and what's important, we get all focused on getting the 100 Christmas cards out and making the 7-layer disgusting dessert, and we forget what's really important. But when we notice what's around us that we appreciate and that brings us peace and joy, we begin to notice what we value. So notice what's good in our life. So what's something, I know we may have already had some stressful holiday times, but what's something good that's happened so far in regard to the holidays that you've noticed?
Both my kids.
You were with both your kids. Yeah. Right. And notice, I love that. I was with both my kids and we had amazing conversations and we went out and did 3 activities that we all got along well, enjoyed. It's not all of that. all that Ron said is I got to be with my kids, right? And so that's the most important thing. And I try to keep that in mind with my kids too. I lower my expectations for what I expect when I'm with my kids, right? Don't expect everybody to get along every moment, that we play an amazing game where everybody laughs. You gotta lower it a little bit, and then and then what happens is you appreciate just being with your kids. Notice the small blessings in your day. And as you go through your day, ask yourself this question: what is not wrong? Not what is wrong all day, but what is not wrong? So think, you don't have to share it, but everybody just think right now to yourselves, what's happened today that's not wrong? I just thought of about 3 things. Pretty good day today. So things to let go of. Cooking family favorites if it's not of value to you or your family. Buying the perfect gift. We're never going to, occasionally we get the perfect gift, but most of the time, no. So let go of that expectation that you're going to be buying everybody perfect gifts, because it's just not, it doesn't happen. Doing the perfect wrapping, do we have to wrap it perfectly? Unless you really enjoy it, which I kind of enjoy wrapping, but most people don't. Letting go of this expectation that all your connections are going to be happy and loving and joyful during the holiday season, because that's not going to happen. Letting go of the fact that you have all these significant people in your life. As we get older, we have less and less significant people in our life. So, but still we get joy from being around people that bring us joy and that are doing things that we enjoy. Maybe let go of doing all the holiday cards, letting go of some parties, decorations, letting go of the fact that we have to have magical moments, right? And so think about, what holiday traditions do you want to continue? And then, visualize each activity. We're going to do a little activity at the very end of this lecture, just in a couple of minutes, where you're going to have an opportunity to think a little bit deeper about what you value. But you want to visualize what you want to continue. Notice how your body feels when you visualize the thing that you want to continue. So, when I think about making certain cookies, there's very simple cookies that I've been making forever, and I have communicated with my kids, and if I don't make them, they do ask me to make them. So I know that they do appreciate that. And I just enjoy making these certain cookies, and they're just these little simple sugar cookies. And when I think of it, and you probably notice a change in my face, I feel happy and I feel warm. I don't feel tense about it. But when I think of doing Christmas cards, not so much. So, think about for yourself what's important to you. True enthusiasm, or something that we truly value, makes us feel more energized rather than depleted. When we think of something that makes us feel depleted, like for me doing Christmas cards, I just feel low energy about it. And then use the 2 C's. Either cut it out or change it into a way that works for you. So figuring out what you value and committing to doing one thing this holiday season that you truly value. And so, for me, this was an older lecture, but I used to run down and try to have Christmas with my family of origin, and then have Christmas back here, and the whole thing just got to be too much of a commotion. And so I started doing this. I didn't do it on Christmas Eve, but I would go down sometime during December and have a breakfast with my brother and my sister-in-law and that group. And so I wasn't trying to do it, at Christmas. And I started skipping parties that I didn't really, not of people that weren't close friends, that I didn't really value that. And then instead of buying perfect gifts, sometimes just writing a nice handwritten card out for somebody. And any other ideas of you guys have of doing that you do during the holidays that you really value that you can think of? Yeah.
Word expectation. Like,
Yes.
and I think that's really key to the whole pairing
Mm-hmm.
for Christmas. And what I realized is all of those expectations in the family units are tradition.
Yes.
So you can change those expectations just by doing. And in our family, we tend to not buy new plastic toys.
Hmm.
We tend to make things to give as gifts. We get books that we then read together. And these are really good ways to not build materialistic expectations among kids.
And now you've created new traditions, right?
Yeah,
So the discussion is about expectations and how we tend to do things because there's old expectations about it, and now creating new expectations, such as, tending to make gifts for people and buying books and not buying plastic items.
it's interesting. We did this for our kids. We're now seeing our daughter continue.
Carrying on that tradition. Yeah,
So we gift comes in, it means another shelf that dad.
right. Right.
So
Yeah, great. Thanks for sharing that. So this is the conclusion here. This is your life. Don't wait for the holidays to end to get back to your health and happiness. This is it right now. And I brought this up when I gave the lecture before Thanksgiving, but I'm reminded that, Michelle Obama was talking about she has like 25 more summers left, and I'm 70, and my parents died when they were 80. And so I think to myself, wow, I may only have, if I'm lucky, I'll have 10 more Christmases. And when you think you only have 10 more of something, you really value it and you really want to make it be of value to you. You don't want to spend your 10 more Christmases exhausted and making things for people that they don't really want and writing on 100 Christmas cards that nobody cares about. If you only had 10 more of something, if you only have 10 more Christmases, what would this Christmas or Hanukkah look like for you? Instead of it being a negative thing, I really feel like it's a positive thing that you really will, treasure what you have, because we really don't know how many more we have. So don't waste it, doing stuff that makes you feel tired and grumpy and depressed and all those things. So a little self-care right now, and we're just going to do a brief little visualization meditation exercise. So just find a comfortable position, whatever that is for you. Place your hands in your lap or on your stomach to be able to feel your breath. And just go ahead and gently close your eyes. And I want you just to take in a deep breath and feel the breath come in through your nose if you're able, and out through your mouth. If you feel like your nose is tight, just go ahead and breathe through your mouth, whatever feels comfortable for you. But take in a deep breath and notice the warm air coming in, and then notice the warm air going out. And just follow your natural breath without trying to control it. And now gently ask yourself, what do I value this holiday season? What do I want this holiday to feel like? Notice any thoughts or images or feelings that arise without trying to analyze them or make them right or wrong. Just notice the things, and if something that you notice makes you feel energized or relaxed or joyful, And that's probably something that you value. And you want to keep that. So just take a moment to think about that. And now gently shift your focus to things that you're grateful for. People or moments that bring you joy. Allow a sense of gratitude and joy to expand within you. And now take a moment to let go of old expectations, things you're ready to let go of for the holidays. And just as you let go of your breath, let go of the old expectations that no longer bring you joy. Let go of how the holidays should be. And be flexible. And end the session by coming back to one thing that would bring you joy this holiday season and makes you feel peaceful and at the same time energized and joyful. And just picture that in your mind right now. Allow yourself to feel it, see it clearly. And carry this value with you when you leave here today and throughout the holiday season. And when you feel comfortable, just go ahead and open your eyes, come back into the room. Everybody looks your shoulders are just a little lower. It's amazing how just taking even 3 minutes, to check in with ourselves can make such a difference. So thank you all for being here today. Are there any questions or comments? Thank you for all your comments, and it means so much to have you guys here.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. Anybody at home, any comment?
Yeah, the Rileys and all, of course.
But no questions or
comments,
Okay.
no.
Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah. Thank you, Sharon.